Hello there everybody and welcome to Matt the Dragon Railways, and this is the sort of last episode of the Titfield Thunderbolt series. Now, I did plan a running session, but that's had to be cut short because the Rapido Trains line, at least as the time of filming, it's not due out until April, so we can't do that. So I will promise you a little Titfield Thunderbolt running session, like a proper one, in the future when line appears, but for now I'm going to do this little project I squeezed in. Now, the first episode I started off with the train that the 14XX hauled, and I said about they did do a cattle wagon, but you know it was only like a once a week occasion from what the film suggests, being the market day, and because I've had to squeeze in a gap, I decided that's what I'll have to do. Now, originally I was going to get a dapple unpainted wagon kit. They make a kit that's, you can build it and paint it, or they sometimes make wagons unpainted or built, but you just need to paint them. They just kept disappearing every time I went, oh, let's go get one finally. Then, at the start of December last year, I was given a box of model railway stuff and a standard old Hornby cattle wagon was in there. Well, there was two actually, and they were in a need of repainting, at least one of them. So I have done it, but I will go through the whole process of it, and here it is now. So you can see it's in a grey. In fact, it's the same grey as my Bardic lamp that's just there. So yeah, that's what it will look like, but I'm going to show you the whole process of how I got to this stage. And like I said, I was originally going to go for the dapple one, but this is a budget thing. You can get these in job lots. You can get these fairly cheap. Look, they've got the old, I don't know if you can see, just the straight pin through axle boxes for the wheel and everything. So yes, I thought that would be a suitable project. So I'm not going to try and make this intro last forever like a lot of my other videos did. Basically, I'm doing the market day cattle wagon. So here you go, you get to watch me clean it up, get it ready for painting, and repaint it and give it a light weathering. I hope you enjoy. So, to start off this process, I've got a toothbrush with some soap on it and some warm soapy water, and I'm just scrubbing this old wagon. I don't know if it's been sat in a loft for a long time, but it has definitely been in storage for some time. And so I need to get rid of all the old grime that would have accumulated on the model, ready for painting, as it's nice to have a nice clean surface when you're repainting stuff. So I repeat the process I'm doing now, and as you can see, just after one go, the water's already changed colour. So yeah, you can see how much invisible grime there was on the model. And like I say, I'll just repeat this process a few times so I try and get as much dirt off it as possible. So the next process now is to take the nice clean wagon and do a bit of masking work. I'm going to start on the chassis. So here you can see me in a shoebox, an old one of course, that I use for repainting. And this is just a Humbrol gloss black that I'm just spraying on the base. Now, preferably you'd wear gloves for this. And in fact, I believe, I think I sprayed my thumb black. So yeah, if you do this yourself, of course, have great ventilation, and I'd recommend wearing gloves. And there we go, that's the chassis done, and yes, it looks nice and shiny, doesn't it? And the next step is to do the bodywork. So once the black paint is dried, I mask around the chassis, and then it is time to do the body, which is going into the grey. And here we go, the grey's going on. Now, I do about 2 or 3 coats on here. Thin coats, of course, again with good ventilation. And this time I am, in fact, wearing gloves. And I need to make sure the coats are thin enough so it doesn't destroy any of the detail. Because if you put too thick of a coat on, it sort of removes the detail on a model. I've learnt that from experience when I've lost the riveting detail under too thick of a coat of paint. So yeah, I'm just going around the body with it. And just like I say, thin coats does the job, and then I shall show you the final result. And here we have it. It does look very smart, and in fact it isn't far off being complete. It's only an easy job really, this repaint, but yes, it's definitely effective, and of course there's some jobs still to do. Like this one, I'm going to start weathering. This is just a black wash, just a bit of acrylic paint mixed in with some water just to make a wash. And what I'm doing is flooding the model. This is quite scary to do to begin with if you've never done it before. But basically the concept is you do what I'm doing now, which is basically flood the model with this wash, and it will seep into all the grooves. I give it normally about a minute or two to dry in some places, and then I go ahead with a dry paper towel or a bit of toilet roll. I just wipe it off. I wipe most of it off. I try and get into grooves where I don't want it completely black, of course. And I'd repeat this process a few times because you're never going to get it perfect the first time. This is sort of a do a few layers sort of job. And as you can see, I'm just wiping it away. And then you can see it's only done a subtle job in some of the grooves. I want the job to be a bit more bold, so I just repeat this process. And here, as you can see, it's the subtle finish. It's definitely got in the grooves, as you can see, but it wants more layering. It needs toning down a bit more. So I just repeat the process again. And here you can definitely see what I mean by flood the model, though most of this comes off on the toilet roll, so it's not to worry about. And I went and forgot the step to record that I picked out the details. Anything that was metal, picked out black. Exactly how the one is in the Titfield Thunderbolt. And behind it you can see the wagon, basically what it was like before. That was the other one I was given. But yeah, I also weathered the roof, which is a black wash job as well. And do you know what? I think it looks really smart and it's really nice, and it's going to look lovely down on the layout. And it's definitely, I know it's not bang on perfect, but it's very close to resembling the one from the Titfield Thunderbolt used for Market Day. And there you go, I'm just showing you what it was like before. This moulded plastic, unpainted. The only painted part really was the roof. And yeah, so it's definitely come a long way. And I'll just give you a few seconds to admire the before and after sort of style. As you can see, original at the top and the repaint down the bottom. And I do think it looks very smart. And the final job is get the old Gauge Master oil pen out. Just oil all the axles. Spin the wheels a bit to let the oil run round. And now it's very much suitable to run on the layout. So here we have it, the complete first train of the Titfield Thunderbolt. And as you can see, there's the buffet coach, the first ever episode I done. And then the last episode I done, which is the cattle wagon. So yes, I think it looks really, really nice. It's nice to have a full train. As you may be able to point out, the 14XX hasn't got its numbers. As of filming, they haven't actually arrived yet. So that's why you can't see them. But yeah, I think all we need to do now really, put it in forwards and run a train. But as you can see, for some reason, the 14XX is, even though it has a good weight in it and traction tyres, it's not strong enough. So I'm going to have to give it some form of encouragement. You can see it really doesn't like it. So if you do this yourself, I recommend getting the Dapol unpainted version if you can, or the Dapol kit and build it yourself. But I'm going to film a video no matter what. And there we go. I think that's all I can really film for you. I try to get something new, different in each shot, but there's two parts of the layout where it's fairly steep and it struggles and stops. So sadly I have to cut it short. Like I said though, I do promise that I shall do a running session when Lion arrives. and do a bit of a Titfield Thunderbolt running session in general. So that'll include this train, maybe it with that, the cattle wagon on a couple of runs, Lion with Dan's house, maybe even the 14XX with Dan's house for the fun of it. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. I do think I shall have to figure out a way of fitting this with better wheels so it rolls better. I haven't ever tried pinpoint axles within this style of axle where the axle just runs through the old plastic wheels. It's the old trying method. So if I just lift it there, I don't know if you can catch a glimpse of it, but you know, if anyone's got an idea of how I could do that, then let me know, as it would be very greatly appreciated. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Leave it a like if you did enjoy it. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Subscribing really helps the channel. Sharing is caring, helps get the channel out there. And comment it to say hi, what do you think of this project? Or like I said, if you've got some advice for this to help the 14XX pull it. I have thought about putting more weight in the 14XX. There isn't lots of room left in there, because what is in there is weight. It's sadly, I think Hornby should have made some metal components in it really, but oh well. It's about 30 years old, this 14XX now, if I just push it back. But I'm very happy with it. So yeah, I'm sorry to end this month with just a cattle wagon, but like I said, I shall do a proper ending later on in the year whenever Lion arrives. So thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you all next time. Cheerio for now.